Thank you, President Hewitt, and good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm going to click on the share screen here. And visiting us from around the world, from the continent of Africa, it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Sylvia Mochabo from Nairobi, Kenya. Sylvia, a mother of 3 boys, wears many hats. She's a nationally recognized speaker on special needs children. A multi-talented creator and business owner, Sylvia is a graphic designer and brand consultant. She was a multiple pageant winner in 2020, crowned Miss Africa Elite, Miss Africa United Nations 2020, and the Elite Face of Africa. One of Sylvia's favorite quotes is, when you're clear on your purpose, nothing can stop you from achieving your goals and starting each day with a true zest for life. Even when you run into roadblocks and obstacles, you'll find the drive and the willpower you need to overcome those challenges and get back on the path to your dreams. Sylvia has been an active Rotarian since 2013 in the Rotary Club of Muthaga and is the Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 22. The Rotary International Conference in Atlanta is where I met Sylvia in June of 2017. She was excited about attending her first international conference, and like is typical when attending an international Rotary event, you meet people from all over the world and share your friendship. Sylvia is speaking to us today about how this year's Rotary motto, Rotary Opens Opportunities, has special meaning to her. Please welcome Ms. Sylvia Mochabo.
Thank you very much, James, for that introduction, and good evening, everyone. As well introduced, Sylvia is my name, all the way from Africa, and it's a pleasure to actually be with you. And I would have loved for this to have been in person, but then looking at what COVID has done and the lockdown that we're all going through, it's night over here, and that's why I requested for things to
Here's we have a momentary internet issue.
Okay.
We lost you for a second, Sylvia.
No problem. We're back on now?
Yeah, we're back on. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that, but yeah, sometimes our internet can get unstable, the Wi-Fi. So generally, that is a bit of what is going on. So we have lockdown, that we have to be in our houses by 10:30 as one of the ways to control COVID, because like they say, Nairobi is the city of fun. So here people enjoy their fun, the beer, and connecting. And so we have to be regulated by government to be able to just not be all out. That was on a lighter note. I joined Rotary back in 2013 after one of my clients. I used, as a graphic designer, as he mentioned, I had a client who came in, and it was during the district conference, and I was supposed to do design work for the e-shot and the pamphlet and the branding. And after that, my now mentor, started sending me invites to Rotary clubs. But there is one of the misconceptions about what Rotary is here in Africa, that it is for the elite and so many other things. And so it took me like almost a year of attending on and off before I could join. Yes. I could join Rotary, but I always say it is one of the decisions that I do not regret in life, because of the growth that I have seen through all the opportunities that have happened according to what we talk about. So here in Kenya, specifically our district 9212, we always say Rotary is about family, fun, friends, and fellowship. So in all that we do, we try and encompass all of this together, be it in our events or in surveys. So I would request, if James, if I could have a chance to be able to share my screen. I don't know if I have the right yet. I've seen I do. Okay, so is it on? Is it on now?
Yes.
It is, okay, bingo. So this is the African map, and our district is down here. That is Kenya, Ethiopia, and South Sudan. That is where we are at, District 9212. When I joined Rotary, the first thing, I'm sure we've all heard the story of the gentleman who was thrown in a lake, in a pool full of crocodiles, when the king said whoever who crosses over is the one who gets their daughter as a bride. That was my introduction into Rotary, and in line to the opportunities that have opened up for me. So when I came in, the first thing they did is looking at what I do, and I was put in the PR docket. And the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm a graphic designer, I'm branding, but I don't know what PR is all about. But the good thing with Rotary is that you meet people from different walks of life, and you get enough challenges that enable you to grow and discover more than what you can, because I believe that things we are good at, we don't know, but the people who are around us actually do know, get to see those strengths that we have. And that is how I ended up in the PR docket. So I started serving in the space of PR in my club, in my district slowly. And with all the fellowships that we've had, I've been able to get friends internationally. Since we met with James, we've been friends throughout on Facebook, on and off. And I can tell you there is nowhere where the good thing about Rotary and the opportunity that it gives us is there is nowhere in the world you can go that you don't know someone. All you need to do is just go to my Rotary Center and find. I remember the first international flight I took out of trust. I had met one of our now DG friends, DG Ndukwe, in Mombasa during the zone conference, and he invited me over to come to Nigeria, and I thought it was a joke. But a few months down the line, I was in Nigeria talking to them about polio branding, and those are some of the opportunities. And from there, I've met so many people who are now my long-term and very good friends. The other thing that I have gained is a mentor. The person who introduced me in my club has nurtured me, walked with me through the growth of what Rotary is about. And apart from being a mentor in Rotary, he's become my personal mentor even in business in all these years since 2013. And I have been able to see growth. And you see, the thing with friendships and getting an inner circle, someone to work with you, for us who are in the youth, is you get to see things from different light. There are mistakes in life that you don't have to make if other people have made it. I always say you can learn from other people's mistakes and engage them so that you're able to see things from a better angle. And that is one of the things that I really appreciate. And from that, just because of Rotary. And that's when I learned there was something called ARPIC. And it enabled me to set my goals and to discover what do I want from Rotary, because most of the times we come in for different things. People come in looking for networks, looking for friends, looking for fun and business. But I can say on my side that I have been able to get all of this in that very short, I think around 7 years now. Because from there is when I learned what I want to give as an individual to the Rotary community, which is my skills and purpose in public relations. And which is also the opportunities that we get because of having to brand events and consult for their district. I found myself being the go-to person when it comes to branding. And I remember during the zone conference when Rotary changed the brand standards, I was the first one to have to implement it. And I remember it was well done that they actually acknowledged it. But you see, that was a challenge that I learned from the best person, because if it wasn't for RID SAFAC at the time, I would not have been able to push myself to perfection to be able to greatly understand the brand guidelines that we have. And in that way, discover also in my line of my career, what exactly I want to do. There is a special event also that we normally do have here, which is called the Rotary Sunshine Rally, which in line with when your club tells you, we would like for you to represent the club and sit in this committee. It's the only national project that we have, apart from the ones we just started about the environment. So what Rotary Sunshine Rally is about is for the past 40 years, we bring persons with disabilities, children from schools for fun and fellowship. And that one day we allow them to just have fun, be taken care of by other people, that is us Rotarians. We feed them from morning till evening. We have entertainment, and you can see how many there are. So we the last one we had around 6,500 just from the capital city and its environs. So that is something that is great. But why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because as a mother, I am a mother of 3 boys, 2 of whom have special needs. And the challenge that you always find is you never know who else is there, who else is going through what you're going through. But attending and serving in this project opened my eyes, and I was able to see other children, to see others who have different challenges. And that was something that I needed at that point in time. And after that, when I left, I remember something kept bothering me, and I kept asking myself, where do all these children go after this? As Rotarians, we do this for one day, just 24 hours, which takes us around 4 months of planning and a lot of fundraising, just to be able to give these children, we call it the Sunshine Rally. So we bring some sun into their lives. And from there, that question kept bugging me. And I kept asking myself also, why did God give me special children? It doesn't make sense. It's not something that's genetic in our family. And that's where now it dawned on me. I used to get that voice. I used to read when I read motivation, the Bible, I was getting the same Bible verse that was saying, Proverbs 31:8-9, speak on behalf of those who cannot speak for themselves, and let justice be done. And that is how I ended up founding Andy Speaks for Special Needs Person. And Andy is named after my middle child, who's autistic. And why he speaks, because he was nonverbal. He called me mom when he was 5. So he's been nonverbal for a long time. He's now turning 11, but at least he started gaining speech. So we've started seeing some change and the last one. So when you look back at that day at the Sunshine Rally and the questions I had about all these children, do people even know they exist? Where do they go after that? What challenges do they face as caregivers, even their parents and the caregivers, the teachers? What challenges is this that they go through, and who speaks on their behalf? And that's how I was able to get to learn of what my purpose in life is and why actually I got to get these special children. And I founded the Andy Speaks for Special Needs Persons Africa, which is a rights-based non-for-profit organization where we fight to get mainstreaming for persons with neurodevelopmental disabilities. Where does Rotary come in all of this? Had I not been a Rotarian, had I not gotten in touch with that spirit of giving and with service above self, even when I attended that event, it would have been just another event, like many others that we go to. Go do your thing and leave. But as it is normally with purpose and finding yourself, you always discover and identify exactly why God puts you in such places and why people come into your life for some specifications. Because most of the downtimes that I have, we normally have issues with seizures and convulsions that are as a comorbid to autism. And the nights that I have to spend alone as a single parent in hospital, I've had Rotarians come through and say, go home tonight, we'll stay with baby. Or they just sit with you so you can just take that walk and breathe and just try and rejuvenate to be able to continue taking care of your child. And these are some of the things that maybe we take for granted, the relations that we make. And like they say, when you grow older, it is very hard to make friends. So it is one of the platforms that it gives us that. So I am very, very grateful for that. And even the time that I decided to go for the Miss Africa contest, it was just because a fellow Rotarian, we had gone to do media presentation for the Sunshine Rally, and she told me, have you ever thought about modeling? I'm like, I'm too old, I'm a mother, there is nothing like that. And that's how I found out, oh yeah, there is actually one for those who pass the age limit for Miss World and Miss and all these others, the Miss Universes. I was like, okay, let me give you a shot. And she's the one who pushed me to actually go and find out and get in. And without even prior experience, there I went, rocked it, and I won 3 titles. Actually, there's so many up here, all the certificates I got in 2018 from that. And all that is just because a friend that I met through Rotary pushed me to be able to go for it, because most of the time we doubt ourselves, because the minute we get opportunities, the first thing that clicks in our minds is excuses. Oh, I can't because of this. Oh, I can't because of this, because that's our second to human nature. But you find that because of that friendship and the fellowship that we're going through and that experience of being in Rotary, I was able to go after. It was one of my dreams that I had said as a girl. And I remember in 2015, I had listed that I would like to meet all my childhood dreams. And truth be told, by 2020, last year, I was able to tick all those boxes, and I could not even speak about where I have gotten to without mentioning Rotary, because majority of all the opportunities and all the friendships and all the fellowships and all the fun that I have had, even as we are busy doing all this, and career and networks and growth that we always get. There are people who are not even accessible, like in high rankings in our society, but they are Rotarians, and that gives us that opportunity to do business with them, to interact. I was, from all these interviews that I was doing on behalf of Rotary as a PR director, now I am an AR pick, something that I didn't see coming, and beating the odds to the fact that I have not been a president yet, but I have managed to get an RI appointment. So that encourages you that if you go for it, you set your goals, and you identify what opportunities are there, you will be able to get to where it is that you want to. It might seem that it is far, but so long as you work the networks and work the situations and opportunities that you get, you will be able to actually get to where you want to be. And I hope that summarizes all my experiences in a nutshell of what Rotary has been to me and all the opportunities that it has really opened for me in the past 7 years of being a Rotarian. And I'm really, really looking forward to serving better, longer, and in better opportunities as they arise, and also serving the community in all the ways as we speak and say service above self. And I hope we'll be able to do that. Thank you very much.
Wow, Sylvia, that was quite a presentation. I am sure some of our membership has would like to ask you some questions, so I'm going to open that up, if that's okay with you, to answer some questions.
Perfect. Yeah, I am ready.
I wasn't sure what part of Africa you were from, so my history moment with the Kenya was certainly took it something you probably already knew.
Yes. Yes, I heard it, and yeah, that was very precise. She was at the Masai Mara when that happened, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I knew she was in there, and if anybody's been watching The Crown, that was an earlier episode where she was in Kenya when she found out about her father passing away. So, members, questions? You'll have to unmute yourself.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, John.
I'll go first. I just want to say that is probably one of the most inspiring presentations I've seen in 15 years at Rotary. I love what you're doing for the kids with disabilities. Our club and several other clubs in our area have helped build a baseball field for children with disabilities, and we're starting our 3rd season this March. So I want to just say thank you. I love what you're doing. I see a plaque on the behind you. It's called BNI. Are you a member of BNI?
Yes, I was a member. I got to the national director. When I get to the goal, I move to the next. So there was no further than that.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. And I've been a member for 2 years and been in Rotary for 15. And I say this is one of the most inspiring presentations I've seen. And for what you've accomplished, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I have no questions. I just wanted to make that statement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Someone else has anything they'd like to say? Most people I see are muted.
I have a question.
Yes, Rob.
Hey, great job, Sylvia. So this past year must have been a challenge with COVID. How has it affected the things that you've been trying to do and getting large groups of kids together and whatnot?
Yes, we were actually the very first impact that we had was the fact that when COVID got to Kenya, that was in March, on the 13th of March, our Sunshine Rally was actually scheduled for the day after, the 14th. So you can imagine all the children had been prepped, all the buses had been prepared, the food had been cooked. We had all the donors deliver all the items that we needed. Then we had to start canceling from 2 p.m. because when the president gave a directive for no events, gatherings more than 10, every event had to be cancelled nationally, and which was quite sad because there are children who live for this day. So we had a lot of disappointments, and the logistics behind it was such a daunting task for us, because what do you do with perishable foods? Now we had to rally ourselves as Rotarians and actually go to the community and dispatch the food. And apart from that, now that means no other, like our district conferences, everything else, our fellowships, all of them had to stop. And for me, as an agent, as a spokesperson for persons with disabilities, if I was to go back to that, you find now I take COVID positively for some reason, because it has really brought out the gaps that we have in our social protection system. So I embraced it again as an opportunity. So through the foundation, I've been able to rally for inclusion, because the neurodiverse community has really been left behind. And you find even in the social protection benefits, when they were giving benefits during the lockdown, it was not getting to those children who actually made it. So those are some of the things that we did. So we did programs with Rotary and the Sunshine Rally, like the foods that we made that were not perishable. We distributed it to children's home and to families, like we'd go door-to-door dropping, because I'm in touch with, and we have a groups of special needs parents who we knew were suffering somewhere, because they're the first to first get kicked off from work, because they depend on manual labor, because they need to be at home. They cannot afford to also take care of their children. It gave an opportunity for me to start a project on delivering medication, anticonvulsants, because we're having children who are epileptic dying because parents cannot afford to get the medication for them. So I always say the glass is either half empty, half full. So I embrace it like this is the opportunity to actually do something better other than staying at home, and also engage with government and in policy setting. As early as today morning, we were with the National Council trying to identify how to move forward. Like 2 weeks ago is the Ministry of Education, helping them to set up policies for special needs children to go back to school. So as much as our lives were interfered with, it was also a platform for us to do better, to give better of ourselves and come through for those who actually need it.
The timing couldn't have been worse, I'm sure. I saw the date on your brochure for March, and I'm going, how would you pull that off? The planners, I felt for the planners, because like you said, all of that preparation and the kids' disappointment must have been just tremendous. And but like you said, now you can learn from that and move on to, strategies that take the worst case scenario and make it a positive event if that happens. So great job on that.
Anyone else? I know you had some time constraints, Sylvia, and like I said, wow, what a presentation. Jim Z, thank you for making this happen. And also, it is amazing that you're in Kenya. And I forgot, what was the name of the Rotary Club you belong to?
Muthaiga.
Muthaiga.
It's a challenge, Rotary Club of Muthaiga.
Okay.
Yes. It's the club where Gita Manek, one of the trustees, comes from. So yeah, I've had good mentors in my club for sure.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah. Yes. You have a Rotary trustee here.
Sure. Cheryl, did you have a question?
Quickly, Sylvia, how many members are in your club?
87.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
And an average age of 40.
Wow, real young club.
Very young club, and a large club and young.
And
I
hats
will
off
say-
to
Yeah, the age has tipped over time. We've really worked on bringing in and the transition of Rotaract into Rotary and bringing new people who are younger. Because I remember when I joined back in 2013, the age limit was around 55 thereabouts. So it's been good progress and work over time.
And hats off to what you're doing with all these children that really need you with special needs. It's even, I mean, COVID's been challenging for everybody globally, but with parents and anybody that has a special needs child or children that either associate with them somehow, some way, it's even harder to explain to them why they don't have their normal routine of going to school or going someplace. And hats off to you, because that's a huge problem all around the globe for everyone. And we only can learn from it, from COVID. You know, we're going to take all this and take the negatives and turn to the positives and take it all as a learning experience, especially with technology. So thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Well, Sylvia, I know that you've got time constraints, so if you need to log off, that's fine. But if you'd like to stay with the rest of the meeting, do so. But we really do thank you for Zooming with us today. That's one thing the internet has allowed us to do. It has allowed us to travel around the globe. I probably would say you are definitely our furthest Zooming experience so far, I think. You get the distance prize today. So thank you for being with us, and thank you, Jimsy, for getting us such a great speaker.
Thank you.
And